this has taken a while to put together. I've been really busy lately, but and this is like personal training really, so it does take a bit of time to put together. What we discovered with you, we had neck mobility issues, or certainly we need to maintain mobility. I need to incorporate retraction of the shoulder blades because you had slightly poor thoracic mobility, but it wasn't bad. Your pecs and your hamstrings are tight, and your glutes were weak, your back was a little weak, your upper traps were tight, your core was weak, but generally I'm going to give you a general program to sort of develop. It's almost what you've got is what most people have got, so it's almost a generic program, but I am going to put some special bits in. Also, I'm only going to give you one set, but I'm going to hold these stretches for quite some time, and that's what develops strength, because with you I feel we need to build strength as well. If you ever fancy coming back again, I could maybe progress this if you make good progress, but what I'd like you to do is go through this routine a few times, and then you've got the warm-up as well, which is quite more than enough work. With you, I think gentleness is key. I don't want to go too far too soon. And this routine, even having said all that, will last some time. So just have a watch first, see what you think, and then go through it again. On every video I've done, I also apologise for the fact I keep notes because it's impossible for me to remember everybody's individual programme. Okay, listen up now, see what you think. Postural awareness really, and we're going to do this in standing, but I want you to start thinking about this wherever you are. This is called a golden thread. It's a Tai Chi expression. What we want to do is, first of all, retract the shoulder blades, look up, but then, excuse me, slightly tuck the chin back. Then we're going to separate our feet out, heels, toes as I call it, keeping the knees slightly soft. I want you to lengthen up through the spine. Breathe in as you breathe out. Contract the abdominals back into the spine, back towards the spine. Drop on the pelvic floor and just hold on to that with about 80% effort. Inhale as you exhale, let it go. Breathe in as you breathe out. I want you to do the same thing, but more 20 to 30% effort. The golden thread refers to an imaginary thread which is pulling your head by the crown up and back. So it's like a diagonal pull back. So even in walking, I'm going to go off screen here, but I want you to keep thinking about retracting the shoulder blades, contracting the stomach wall and the diagonal thread. Pulling you back and up. Okay, from here, we're going to start the routine. So heels, toes. In yoga, we keep our feet together. Pilates, we're slightly further apart. I prefer Pilates pose because in some ways it's easy to balance. So hands go up, and we're going to clasp. I'm going to show you from a 3/4 angle. Breathe in as you breathe out. I want you to draw the biceps up by your ears. And then in addition, to drop the shoulders down. Keep thinking through everything we said. I just caught myself, my back's arched out a little bit, so I'm going to tuck the pelvis under by tucking the buttocks under, and then keep this retraction, so keep working on drawing, if you like, the shoulder blades back and down towards the waist. Separate the hands out and hold it there. So even though I appear to be moving statically, or rather not moving, if I was to let go, everything would start to travel forward. So even in this position, I'm working quite hard to keep the shoulder blades retracted. And then I'm going to take my hands down by my sides and do what I call a thumb spin. So we're going to thumb a lift, if you like, and then take it further back. And again, although there's no movement, I'm working hard to retract between the shoulder blades. This is also stretching out my chest. Quickly glancing down to see what I need to do. And then we're going to clasp behind and draw the shoulders back. You can keep the elbows slightly soft for this, or long them out if you're comfortable. And again, keep everything tucked under. Diagonal golden thread. Separate the feet out a little bit more. And from here, just allow your hands forward. And then we're going to build some neck mobility. So what I want you to do is to drop the chin forward, lift, work to the side, other side, other side, and again, and then tilt. Tilt, slowing this right down. This is where we can often feel like concrete. And again. It's amazing how even fitness instructors, we neglect our necks. We work every other muscle or stretch every other muscle, but often forget the necks. Center. Rotate. Rotate. And again. And again. Sideways flexion, lateral flexion. And back. And when you're doing this, you'll find sometimes the shoulders want to help out, keep them down. I'm going to add to this in a minute, I'll show you what I mean. And again. And again. Neck drop. Neck drop's not particularly helpful, to be honest, because we've already discovered that you're worried about going forward. But it is important to make this holistic and stretch everything. And to that end, we're going to shrug our shoulders now, drop our head back, and then put a little extension in the back. Not too much. Keep the balance in the feet. So the shoulders here are supporting the neck in extension. Take out the crease in the back, take out the extension, take out the shoulders. And then we're going to press a heel of hand down. So this is stretching out the traps, and then we're going to take the head to the opposite side. So this is just making the stretch a little stronger. Center, and again, heel of hand, neck off to the side. Center, and again. Center, I'm still reminding myself to keep my tummy compressed. If I take slightly tucked under, knees are slightly soft. Center. Fantastic. So that's for the neck done, and from here we're going to put a little bit more in. Now, hamstrings on you are really tight. So this next exercise is going to help with that. Soften the left foot, take it forward, sweep it back but not too far, and we put it in a partial block. So this back foot's at 45 degrees, this front leg is at 90 degrees, and it's really important with this to keep the knee extended, not flexed. It's not soft even. Take your arms off to the side, and then reach into the room. And already that's stretching my hamstrings. Now, the other thing is, Trish, is I'm cold, so this is going to be the best. Whereas you, because you've done your warm-up, you'll be a lot more flexible. Well, maybe not flexible, but I'm not in my normal range. Okay, now all we're going to do is reach. Now, you can reach onto your thigh, sorry, your shin, but what I want you to really focus on are two things. Retraction of this top shoulder blade, and this knee remaining extended, and we're going to hold it there. The other thing is, if you look down, you lose your balance. Optimally, you'd be looking up, but for you and your neck, I just want you to stay wherever you feel comfortable. Breathe in out, and then slide a little further, retract a little more. So again, a static posture, apparently, but we're still working. Okay, inhale as you exhale, a little deeper again, a little more retraction. Normally, my hand would be down to the floor, but as I said, I'm doing this from cold. Soften the knee, take the retraction out, step in, and then we go to the other side. I might as well face the other way. You can stay where you are, right leg in, Right leg back in a partial block. Extend the front knee. Arms out to the side. Parallel to start. All the teaching points still apply. Tummy's bolted back. Reach into the room. And that just puts in a mild stretch before we go any further. Inhale as you exhale. North-south. Again, onto your shin. Retract the top shoulder blade. When I'm doing this, I listen to about 8 beats of the music before I go. Breathe in, breathe out, a little deeper. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, breathe out, go a little deeper. So your optimum then would be looking up at the ceiling, hand down to the floor. Normally I could go knuckles then, if I hold it for long enough, and then my whole hand to the floor, just so you know how you can progress. But for you, as I said, I prefer you to look straight ahead. Focus on retraction, strong yoga hand, and this knee extended. Soften the knee, push into the front leg, come out of it. Brilliant. Next exercise. Well, actually, it's not an exercise. I'm going to give you a little something to do, which is going to look a little strange. Now, if somebody's buttocks aren't firing up, sometimes I do an exercise for a long time, over weeks with people, and I see their buttocks still aren't firing up. So we need to encourage this. I want you to just lightly pummel your buttocks. Just going to see what's coming up next. That's it. Work up and down, hit the outside as well as the inside, and this will fire up the muscle spindles so that you can initiate a lift, which is all you need. You get muscle amnesia, and if the muscle forgets how to work, or loses its capacity to work, we just need to do that to improve the strength. All I want you to do from here is to fold from the hip, take one leg back. Let's say right leg. Arms can be here or there. Lift and lower. Keep focusing on the spot on the floor. My little toes are turned up first. My little toes are working towards the ceiling, so that I'm hitting more of the buttock muscle because it's max. 6, 2 more. 7, oops, and 8. And then just again, gather up your balance. Take this foot back. Find the balance in your supporting foot before you go anywhere. Lift and lower. 1 hand. 2 hand. Oopsie. 3 hand. You can always hold on to something for this. 5. Tummy tight. 6, don't overlift it, watch the back doesn't arch too much. Brilliant. From here, separate the feet out, take the hands up, breathe in as you breathe out, come into a squat. Just take it to where the legs are most loaded, and then again, focus on retraction. And then I want you to take your hands to the floor, step back, take your feet a little wider and practice with this pose. I want the heels down to the floor. Push into the heel of the hands. You should feel the stretch down the back of your legs. I'm going to hold this for a little while because again this is lovely for your hamstring. You may find you're here, Trish, rather than there. It'll come. If you need to, walk the hands in so that you're firmly planted. The other teaching point here is to push your tailbone up towards the ceiling, so you're tilting the pelvis, therefore stretching the back of the legs even more effectively. Let's just see what we've got coming next. Now the other thought I had is here your neck is loosened up, the bones are kind of floating rather than compressed. So let your head relax, and then just gently turn to one side. So left ear to the left biceps, gently turn the other way. And again. And again. Now I feel quite nice there. To centre. Knees down to the floor. This is going to work the core. Do you remember we practiced this? We used this almost as an assessment. From here, you're going to rock forward so the balance is equal between the forearms and the knees. Turn the toes under. This bit's really important. Watch my tummy. Breathe in as you breathe out. Contract the tummy away from the floor. It's quite helpful here if you've got a belt with a tie or something, or just a piece of string. When you contract, the piece of string will lift away from the floor. Keeping that tummy compression, we're just shallow breathing through the upper half of the body now. Lift the knees and hold. As soon as you feel even remotely shaky, knees down, unfurl the feet, drop down, relax into child's pose. Inhale as you exhale, just let everything melt, let the shoulders drop towards the floor. Let the back lengthen and widen. Hands ahead, back into pose, turn the toes under, and lift again. If needs be, you can pause this and do a few more. As soon as you feel shaky, knees down. Drop back into child's pose and relax. Maybe take 3 breaths. This is wonderfully freeing up for the back. Hands ahead, all fours. Now the knees are closer together. We're in a box shape. 90 degrees in the shoulder, 90 degrees in the hip, neck in line with the spine. Again, this is working. A lot of women in my classes are like this. I want you to imagine that your hands are forming the base of the triangle and the third point is where you're looking. Breathe in, breathe out, compress the abdominals. Now the first exercise I'm going to do here is called the turtle. And all I'm doing is dropping between my own shoulders without moving the elbows, keeping the tummy tight. You can also draw in on the pelvic floor here, it's always good. Neutral. And then we're going to yield in the elbows, come up into a cat stretch. Draw the chin into the chest, squeeze the tummy into the spine, and push the spine up towards the ceiling as you draw your elbows in. Then back to neutral. So with neutral, I should be able to have a cup of tea off your back. It should be pretty much straight. Now we're going to go into the opposite, so we're going to dip in the back, looking up, keeping the tummy tight. So this is called cow pose, hold it there. Neutral. Last one, so these are all lovely for back mobility and strength. We're going to turn the left hip towards the left elbow, but without moving our femurs or our thigh bones. And it's tricky to do. Back to centre, right hip towards the right elbow. Back to centre. So sometimes we get this going on where everybody's moving that way. What we're trying to do, you can even glance down and check that your femurs stay pillars. Okay, as you do that exercise. Alright? Then let's go into child's pose again. And we're going to repeat those. 3 deep breaths. Relaxing more with each out breath. Let it all go. All fours. Now this time I'm going to add something in as well. We're going to turtle, same as we did before. So get comfortable. Breathe in, breathe out, compress. Okay, so we're going to drop between the shoulders. Lift, flex, cat stretch. Neutral, cow pose. Neutral. Left hip going towards left elbow. Neutral. Right towards right. You can feel it's really working the back. Okay, and then we're going to go to something we did together. I'm going to take my left foot back, sweep it round to the right, take my hands to the, sweep it round to the left, take my hands to the right, sorry, fingertips, and then we're going to try a lift and lower. I want to try and climb. 3 and 4, and then hold. Down, sweep back, hands back to centre. Breathe in, out, compress. Right leg slides out, so we're putting a little glute work in here. Hands opposite way to the way the legs go. Fingertips on the one hand, lift. 2 out, deeper, 3 out, 4, lift, 1 out, 2 out, tummy still tight, back is flat, it's a simple box press up, lift, 1 out, 2 out, if you get tired, take out a set, 4, lift, last one, 1 out, 2 out, 3 out, 4, lift, child's pose. Hands behind, palms are up, and again 3 deep breaths. Last exercise. Now, we discovered your pecs were tight, and we did this in a diagnostic fashion. So you're lying on your side, hands together. Turn the top palm up. Breathing out, compress, drop on the pelvic floor. Everything's squeezing in. And then take your hand round. Okay, now when you get to the tightest bit, stay there and windscreen. All the way over the hip, back again, palm up, round in a circle, windscreen. And the way to progress with this one is to lift the shoulder away from the floor. So now I'm not even meeting the floor, and just stay there and let the hand travel towards the floor. Over we go, all the way over. Push into the lower hand, flip over, same thing. Palm up, hand round. And if you find that your hand won't meet the floor, hold a tin of baked beans or something. See if you can encourage it down. Over the hip. Back to base. Palm up, back again. Okay, this time I'm lifting the shoulder away. If you find any of these exercises really hard, do more of them. Make a mental note and repeat them. Because that's why we put them in. The whole routine might feel a little tricky. Back to centre. Find the centre. Okay, one leg out. Full body stretch. Push the hands out, lift the lower back. Breathe in as you breathe out, compress. Hands up towards the ceiling, separate them. If this is a bit much for your neck, put one hand underneath. That's why it's important to watch this first, you know what's coming. One knee, lower back massage. Coming up from the floor, in your own time, in your own way. Trish, that should keep you going for some time. You could go through the whole of that again. It's specially engineered for you, so hopefully it will address some of your problems. The hamstrings were way too tight, that's the main thing, and pecs. We've hit them a few times in that routine. You can stay for longer in downward dog, you can